justice for all.
Roll call.
Metcalf. Here. Mr. Paul.
Here.
Mr. Villagno.
Here.
Mr. Davis.
Here.
Mr. Loretto.
Here.
Mr. Johnson.
All members of council are here and accounted for with the exception of Mr. Johnson.
I make a motion that we excuse Mr. Johnson.
Second.
It's been really moved and second that Mr. Johnson be excused from tonight's council meeting. Roll call.
Mr. Metcalf.
Aye.
Mr. Paul.
Aye.
Mr. Villagno.
Aye.
Mr. Davis.
Aye.
Mr. Loretto.
So moved. Mr. Johnson will be excused from tonight's council meeting. Before we get into the sunshine of legislation, there was a motion last week for a call to a special meeting. The clerk is facilitating communications for that call of November 12, 2015. Hearing no objections, the clerk will read the communications. Hearing none, proceed.
To all honorable members of council, pursuant to the authority of section 731.44 of the revised code of the state of Ohio and section 111.02 of the codified ordinances of the city of Steubenville, 1957 as amended, you are hereby notified that a special meeting of city council will be held on Tuesday, November 17, 2015 at 7:30 p.m. in council chambers. This meeting is to be held for the purpose of resolution number 2015-111 by council as a whole, a resolution of commendation to the Steubenville Catholic Central boys soccer team. Sincerely, Frankie Anderson, clerk of council.
Hearing no objections, the communications will be entered into the record. Hearing no objections, it is so ordered. Resolution number 2015-111 by council as a whole.
Resolution number 2015-111, a resolution of commendation to the Steubenville Catholic Central boys soccer team.
Mr. Metcalf.
Yes, Your Honor. First of all, I appreciate the ability to get this done. We're having a soccer banquet on Sunday, so we will present this Sunday at the soccer banquet for the boys and girls soccer team. And at this time, I'd like to make a motion that resolution number 2015-111 be adopted by roll call.
Second.
It's been really moved and second that resolution number 2015-111 be adopted by roll call. Is there anyone wishing to speak on resolution number 2015-111? Please come forward, state their name and address. If not, members of council.
Question.
Roll call.
Mr. Metcalf.
Aye.
Mr. Paul.
Aye.
Mr. Villagno.
Aye.
Mr. Davis.
Aye.
Mr. Loretto.
Aye.
So moved. Resolution number 2015-111 duly adopted. And that will be presented Sunday after a banquet by Mr. May I have a motion to adjourn the special meeting?
Your Honor, make a motion to adjourn the special meeting.
Second.
It's been really moved and seconded that we adjourn the special meeting. Roll call.
Mr. Metcalf.
Aye.
Mr. Paul.
Aye.
Mr. Villagno.
Aye.
Mr. Davis.
Aye.
Mr. Loretto.
Aye.
So moved. The special meeting is adjourned. We will now move into the sunshining of the legislation. Let the record show that all members of council are still accounted for, with the exception of Mr. Johnson. Hearing no objections, Mr. Johnson will be excused from the sunshine meeting also this evening. Hearing no objections, it is so ordered. The purpose of this meeting is to bring forth legislation that will be considered by City Council at a future date. With that, we'll start off with Mr. Metcalf.
Yes, Your Honor. Two pieces, both out of economic development, both pertain to the Franciscan University project. The first one is a resolution to approve an agreement and authorize the mayor or city manager to sign the agreement between the city of Steubenville and Good Venture Properties LLC to provide incentives available for project development in the community reinvestment area number 1. We need to get this pushed through to help the project. We will ask council next week to waive the second and third reading to get this moving forward for the university. The second piece, again, dealing with the same project, is setting up the TIF, and this will be brought in under an emergency as well to get things rolling. And this is declaring the improvement of certain real property located in the city of Steubenville, Jefferson County, Ohio, to be a public purpose, declaring such property to be exempt from real property taxation, designating specific public infrastructure improvements that, once made, will directly benefit the parcels for which improvement is declared to be a public purpose. requiring annual service payments in lieu of taxes, establishing a municipal public improvement tax increment equivalent fund, approving the execution of a TIF agreement, approving the execution of a developer's agreement, designating a tax incentive review council, establishing non-discriminatory hiring policies, providing related authorization pursuant to Ohio Revised Code Sections 5709.40B, 5709.42, 5709.43, and 5709.85, and declaring an emergency. Your Honor, that's all I have this evening.
Thank you, Mr. Metcalf. And as council is aware, that it took a considerable amount of time to work out the deal on the TIP. And quite frankly, I want to take this opportunity to thank the Franciscan University along with the Steubenville School District for their understanding and cooperation with the city to make this whole project really a reality in establishing the TIP. I'm sure next week we'll get into some of the details, but if there's no objections, I would like to invite the partners, Franciscan University and Steubenville School District, to attend next Tuesday's meeting so we can all participate in this successful venture together. Anything else, anything further, Mr. Metcalf?
No, thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Metcalf. Mr. Paul?
Nothing this evening, Your Honor.
Thank you, Mr. Paul. Mr. Bill Magna?
Nothing this evening.
Thank you, Mr. Bill Magna. Mr. Davis?
I have no legislation this evening. Your
Thank
Honor.
you, Mr. Davis. Mr.
No
Giaretta?
report.
Thank you, Mr. Giaretta. That will conclude the sunshining of legislation. Before we move to public forum, we're going to deviate just slightly, and Mr. Chuck Murphy would like to give a very quick report about some smoke testing that's going to be happening at the University of Mr. Murphy.
Thank you, Your Honor. Just want to let everyone know that we're going to be doing some smoke testing on University Boulevard in front of where Sandella's is. It used to be the old Twilight. There's going to be smoke coming up along the north side of University Boulevard. It could potentially end up leading up onto the university itself as far as a 12-inch line we're trying to trace out where it comes from to determine the source of water that's coming in there. So anyhow, just in case you folks happen to see any smoke, don't panic, that's us. We're also going to, of course, notify the fire department and everyone that needs to be so forth for that. It'll be on Thursday. It'll be Thursday this week. We'll be commencing at approximately 8 a.m.
Thank you, Mr. Murphy. We will now move to public forum. Is there anyone wishing to speak to City Council on city business? Please come forward, state their name and address. If not, Mr. Metcalf.
Your Honor, I move we adjourn.
Second.
It's been regularly moved to second, but we adjourn.
I had something to say,
Yeah, Jason, Jason. Come on, Jason.
Slow one and wrong, brother. I still got mine.
I'm here tonight, I'd like to recommend that council consider Mr. Royal Mayo for the fourth ward seat. Has been left vacant by Ms. Angela Suggs. When you do make your decision, Mr. Mayo has a passion for the city and for the fourth ward. I'd also like to make a recommendation that he get commended for his march recently from Birmingham, Alabama to Washington, D.C. He was one of only a handful of people that made the entire march. That's all I can say. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Since you brought up the subject, let me just very quickly outline the process and the procedures to fill the fourth ward vacancy. City Council has agreed that this coming Friday at 4 p.m. will be the deadline for anybody interested in the fourth ward seat to submit to the council clerk, Frankie Anderson, their interest in a possible letter or a resume or some type of communication with the contact information. It was indicated by some members of council that they would like to do some background search on the applicants, number one, to make sure they're a qualified elector of the fourth ward, along with criminal and financial background. However, that process, the individuals would have to agree, so the clerk was instructed, I believe, to send out a waiver or permission for those two things to happen, both the criminal and the background. It is definitely an option that the candidates would have if they would like that to be done. The Tuesday, November 24th, City Council would then, depending on how many applicants, from my understanding, will arrange the interview process. Hopefully, that interview process of the interested candidates would happen on December 1st. And then the actual vote for the appointment to replace Ms. Suggs' unexpired term would be on December 8th. Is that correct? Correct, Council? So with that, is there anyone else wishing to speak to City Council on city business? Please go forward, state your name and address. Mr. Maka.
Mr. Mayor, I make the motion to adjourn.
I was just checking.
Second.
Mr. Ray moved to second that we adjourn. Roll call.
Mr. Metcalf? Mr. Paul?
Aye.